Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. Happy Monday. Happy new week to all of you out there. Yeah, today's a Let's Chat day. So we're just going to sit here and chat a little bit. And the way this works is I kind of take prompts from you all out there. So please, if you have any questions or comments about what's going on or things you'd like to chat about, let me know in the comments. This is kind of just, we do these every once in a while. They're just very easy, very kind of simple days. And we just hang out and get to know each other and chat a little bit. Here at Allegory Gallery, we firmly believe and always have believed that community is the most important part of all of this, everything we do. And we like to take some time to get to know you sometimes. So there's nothing for sale in this video specifically. I can talk about some things that we're working on and some things we have online, but there's nothing for sale in this video. We're just here to chat. So if you're here, please say hello. I'm trying to get this straight. My stand's a little wobbly here. So if you're here, please say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're coming from, where you're joining us from. Hello, Robin. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I'm going to stress here at the beginning, if you can, we hope you'll join us on YouTube, youtube.com/Allegory Gallery. We're trying to get as many people over on YouTube as we possibly can. The reason for that is Facebook and Instagram, of course, as many of you know, are owned by the same company. They're owned by Meta, which used to be Facebook, now is Meta. And most of our people follow us there, and we're happy to have everybody there. We would love everybody there. But at the same point, if something ever happens to either one of those, you usually get penalized for both. So if something were to happen to our Allegory Gallery account on Instagram, it might take it away on Facebook and vice versa. So we're trying to get everybody as much as possible over to other services so that we have, you know, kind of a backup for that. So please join us on YouTube. I have been told from various people on here that the quality on YouTube on the streaming videos is better. So if you're looking at our products and you want to see them in better quality, apparently YouTube is showing that better. You can still chat from over at YouTube. You can hang out with us just the same way. There's Norma tuning in from YouTube. Thank you so much. Kim is joining us from coastal North Carolina. Thank you for joining us, Kim. Diane from Arizona. Teresa is joining us from Connecticut. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining in. So, like I said, today is just a Let's Chat day. And Let's Chat days kind of are days for us to get to know one another. They're days for us here at Allegory to go over a few things with you. Just kind of a wrap-up session kind of things that are going on here. And anything that pops up in my mind as we're talking about things. One thing that came up today is that because we have these live videos and you can claim things in the live video, and we have the website where people are purchasing from our website. If you would like things to happen, if you'd like orders to be combined, we always say that if you want something that's not on the website, like say you need beading wire, we don't put our beading wire on the website. So if you want that, you know, the easiest way to make sure all of this happens is to put a note on your online order. So if you are making an online order and you have an invoiced order that you would like to combine it with, for example, please, in the notes on the online order, say, please combine with my invoiced order. Or if you would like that beading wire, say, please invoice me for beading wire if you have it. Or maybe you want Softflex fine beading wire. Give us as many details in those notes section on the website on your order as you can. Sometimes people will send a follow-up email or a message. So they'll place the order and they'll send an email or a message that says, hey, can you add this to my order? The problem with that is that our helpers who do and help us with most of our shipping don't have access to our email or our messages, and they are on top of things. So if I don't happen to be in the store, they're going to package your online store order without ever seeing that additional request or that request to combine orders. We try to combine as much as we can, but sometimes we miss them. So I just wanted to say that here, that if you have any special requests or any additional requests, things you don't see in the online store, and you say, hey, do you happen to have beading wire that you can add to this order for me? Things like that, put them in the notes section of your online order. That way, anyone who's helping us with packing and shipping that day can check those notes. I will see those notes if I'm the one doing the packing and shipping, and we can make sure that we check that out for you. Susan says, I couldn't find the notes section. The notes section comes up as you go. I think it comes up in the shopping cart, I want to say. I don't have any of my other devices with me right now, or I would take a look and show you. But it comes up at some point as you go through the checkout process. I know that. And I know it happens because we do get a lot of notes from people. So it is there. Now, if you choose Express checkout, you may not see it. Express checkout, a lot of times on many websites, not just ours. I have noticed on other websites, if you do like PayPal Express or sometimes that bypasses the notes section. So you might have to do a regular checkout and then you'll see the notes section there. But if you don't need notes, you can just do the Express checkout. Let's see, who else? Pam's tuning in on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on YouTube in Colorado. Thanks so much. Like I said, we are trying to get as many people over to YouTube as we can, simply because, one, we need those numbers on YouTube to go up, 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 up. And we have been since we've been doing these lives on YouTube. And last week, many of you joined us over on YouTube, and we really appreciate that. We saw our numbers go way up on watch hours and view time and the number of viewers. So that was really great. So that's what we want. I've been over this many times on why we would like you over on YouTube. YouTube is our future. That is where a lot of things are going to happen, as far as any demonstrations we do or recorded videos that are edited, like tutorials that are recorded and edited, and then there's post-production to be done on those, and then we upload them. They're not lives, in other words. They're all going to be on YouTube. So we want you over there. We want you to watch us over there if you possibly can. We know it's not always possible, but it is very important. It is very important for us to have, especially our core group of watchers like you all, to be able to get you in another place, because we've seen Andrew's post take a huge hit for him just making a joke, an inside joke with one of his friends on another post. They not only penalized him personally, they penalized all his personal business account. They penalized his Instagram account. So, this stretches, and it can be wide felt whenever you have one company that controls two of the biggest social media platforms available. So we are trying to find other ways to do that. We have been told that some other people their groups have been shut down, or they have been penalized for things, and we don't want to have that happen. Or if it does happen to us, we want to have another way of reaching out to you. Suzanne's traveling. We'll hook up with us later. Thank you so much, Suzanne, for just popping in for a moment. Good to see you here. Susan is still trying to figure out the YouTube mechanics, but picture quality is better. Yes, it definitely is, from what I've been told. What else? Well, today we have in the online store, we've added some vintage plastic, some new vintage plastic. As Susan says, and Meta doesn't use real people, just bots. Yeah, a lot of it is. A lot of it is just automated AI, knocking you out and penalizing you for 30 days or more. And for what? You can't fight it. You can't explain that this was an inside joke. So it's really hard. It is really hard. And yeah, so anyway, enough complaining about that. Not really complaining. We just, it's that whole don't put your eggs in one basket. And right now, most of our eggs are in the Facebook basket. And we want to change that. We don't want to lose all of you, is pretty much what it comes down to. And the more of you who make the jump over to YouTube and follow us there, the better chances that you won't forget about us if we happen to disappear from Facebook, right? I know there are many companies out there that I like and I follow, but I can't always see them every day, or they don't do lives every day like we do. And sometimes they vanish from your mind if you're not seeing them often enough. So we want to make sure that we don't lose y'all, and you don't forget about us if we happen not to be on Facebook for some reason, like we're banned or something happens like that. I'm going to get my coffee here. So that is that. We're putting more vintage plastic in the online store. You may have seen that pop up on Facebook. There's already been some of those little shopping, whatever. They come up and say Allegory Gallery added this to their online store. So we have that in there. We are working on a few other things getting added to the online store. If you have, let's go back to last week's lives. Renee says, how could we possibly forget you guys? I hope that you would never, but I would hope that you would never, but you never know, right? You never know, because sometimes out of sight, out of mind happens, and it happens to the best of us. And I know that. And so our lives are busy, but we definitely want, we don't want to lose you. We definitely want you to we want us to stay fresh in your mind. Let's say that. Let's see here. Robin is on both. Thank you so much, Robin. That's fine to be on both. We'll get the watch hours on both, right? Amanda asks, will you be making things on your lives? Sometimes we do. Andrew does a live generally on Tuesdays. This may change depending on his schedule and what's going on. But his Tuesdays are usually demonstrations or tutorials. So our live at 5, and they're usually live at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Andrew makes things or shows how to make things quite often. The other lives, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those are me showing you things for sale, things that we've added to the online store, things that we've just got into the store. So that's what we do on our lives generally. As we work on Star Cottage Studio, which is our biggest project ever. We purchased a building that needs a lot of renovation done to it, and we've been working on it, but we're turning that into a jewelry studio, possibly a pottery studio too, we'll see. But we will be doing more tutorials and demos that may be filmed and not live, that will be filmed and placed up later. So that, YouTube likes those a lot. I don't know how much YouTube likes lives and how much they prioritize all of that, but they definitely like the recorded and posted videos. So we'll also be doing some of those. So hopefully that answers your question, Amanda. Teresa is joining us on YouTube. Thank you so much, Teresa. Kim jumped over YouTube for us. Thank you so much. Diane is over there with us. Hello, Diane. Andrew said, I am planning to be home on Tuesdays. Originally, I was going to do Pittsburgh on Tuesdays, but Tuesday is a meeting day. So Andrew will be home on Tuesdays, so he should still be doing his lives, I believe, from on Tuesdays, his demos and tutorials. Hello, Lorraine. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, today is a Let's Chat day. We're just chatting for all of you who joined us. Now back to, I got sidetracked, back to last week's lives. If you ordered something from last Thursday or last Friday, I believe I have gotten back to everybody. And I've sent out invoices for everybody as long as I have your email address and your mailing address. If I didn't have one of those two things, please send me a message and I'll get your invoice out to you. If you've heard nothing from me, that means your message got lost somewhere. So if that's the case, please do, the best thing to do in that case is send us an email, and it's info@allegorygallery.com. And let me know, send me the lot numbers you're still trying to get. Sometimes those things happen. Sometimes messages get lost in the ether. Facebook and Instagram, because they're now the same company, everybody tries to combine things, into the same messaging system, and sometimes it gets lost. So hopefully we didn't lose anybody. But if we did, please just send us an email, and I'll be checking through emails and through spam folders in here over the next day or so. And let's go back. I'm going to put this back up because I still want you all to join us on YouTube if possible at all. Andrew said, if folks are interested in making stuff, let us know what you're interested in doing, and we can do tutorials maybe on those. Susan says, chatting is nice. I agree. I like chatting. I like chatting a lot. Andrew said, I'm also going to try to do quick maker posts once we get the cottage fully set up, but it'll take a while. Suzanne is trying to get on YouTube now. Thank you so much. Let's see. Diane said, I just found something else I like about YouTube. I turn the phone sideways. It puts the comments beside the video instead of over it. Yeah, I thought it did that too, but I wasn't sure because I don't ever watch. I can't watch on my phone while I'm streaming here. So, but I thought it did that. Cindy is joining us. Hello, Cindy. Thank you for joining in. Teresa says, love when we chat. And Suzanne got into YouTube. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love when we chat too. Susan got here on YouTube. Hopefully you have that sound there. The audio is starting to work there for you, Susan. I saw you couldn't get that to work before. Yeah, I really like our chat days. You know, not everything has to be about business or selling all the time, right? It gets a little annoying, actually, I think, when it is. I have this company that I like that's on the other side of Pennsylvania. And every month, I think it is, I think monthly, they put out an email, but in that email is like 5 to 10 favorite things that the owner is interested in, and it has nothing to do with his company. And I think that's really a nice thing. I found a lot of interesting things through that, and he often highlights a lot of other small businesses. So, you know, I like to see when small businesses are working together to highlight each other, are working together to not just sell you stuff all the time, right? I get to see kind of an inside glimpse of what makes that small business owner tick and what makes them, you know, kind of think and what they think about things. And I really like the idea, you know, I think you should know your customers as much as you can. I think customers should be able to get to know you. You know, there's this idea that that Andrew and I kind of hate together, and it's this idea that you have to be professional, quote unquote professional. And that word, the reason that we kind of don't like it is that word has kind of been weaponized against businesses like ours who like to take time to get to know you, who like to, you know, let you know what's on our minds and kind of be, you know, down to earth with you. And really, you know, you can read my posts often on my personal page on things that I think, and Andrew does the same thing. And so often that has been weaponized against us, saying that we're not professional. But I think, you know, I think as long as you're treating people with respect and you're working hard to make sure people get what they've ordered and the things that they like, and you're working, you know, we shop for people. We do personal shopping a lot of times. If we know you like things, we keep that in mind. You know, I think all of those things go into what makes something professional, what makes a business professional. I think putting your personal opinion somewhere doesn't make you unprofessional in any way. Because everyone has personal opinions, right? And letting your people see that, or letting people know what those are, doesn't make you unprofessional. At least that's the way we think. And so that's why for us, it's important to have these chat days, because it kind of breaks that wall down, that, you know, that cold, you're supposed to be a cold business that doesn't get to know their people, that just, okay, so you're a machine and you pump out the orders and you pump out the sales promotions and you pump out the marketing, but who cares what everyone really likes, or who cares who your customers are? That to us makes no sense at all. And so Sandra says professional is overrated, right? That idea, I think, is old. I think that's an old idea. And I think in the days that we have now of social media, I think that it's just an old-fashioned way of thinking. And social media has brought us all together. And I think that idea of professional is not, it shouldn't exist anymore. Maybe it's fine for giant corporations who don't need to know who their customers are. But I think for small business, I think it's mainly weaponized against us. Renee says that professional word can intimidate people. It's like cold and sterile versus warm and inviting. I dislike professional, just my opinion. Yeah. And it's not that it is, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's used in that way, right? I think you can, I believe that we are professional. We talk to you about things. We keep you up to date on things. We try and get your orders out as quickly as we can. Nothing we do is done, in this happy kind of unprofessional way. But when people say you're not professional, they mean that you're not cold and sterile. They mean you're not acting like big business should. And that's where it gets bad. That's where the term goes wrong, I think. Andrew said, I think the idea of professional is also a gatekeeping device that holds people back from starting. There's this expectation that you have to be perfectly polished and have all the best things in order to start, right? I think that's true too. I think that's true. Let's see. I've missed a few questions because I've been on my little tirade here. Cindy says, hi, watched you on during the Great Beat Extravaganza and loved it. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're checking us out now again. And you've caught us, like I said, on a Let's Chat day. This is a day where we don't try to sell you anything necessarily. We'll talk about maybe what we've added and things we've added, but we're not showing you anything. We're not selling you anything directly. This is just a chance to hang out with us and get to know us as we can get to know you. Cindy asks, how far are you all from Pittsburgh? I don't know if anyone answered that. We're about an hour. We're about an hour to the east of Pittsburgh. I had to think about that. An hour to the east of Pittsburgh. So not far. If you look up Ligonier, Pennsylvania on a map, you'll see it there. Ligonier, Ligonier, Pennsylvania. And our store is right here in Ligonier. Susan says, I have a YouTube question. Is it okay to ask here? Of course. Yes. This is the day of all days. You can definitely ask it here and we can see if we can answer. Hopefully we can answer. Sandra says, being human is better. I think so. I think being human is much better than just, being professional. Hello, Terry. Thanks for joining in. Happy Monday to you as well. Sandra says, I love that you are real. I love that you all are real. You are real people to us, right? You are not just a name that comes in on an invoice or a name that comes in on an order or a name that comes in on an email. Like, we know you. We get to know where you are, what you're doing in life. Like, we have friends who are renovating their kitchen. We know they're renovating their kitchens, right? We know that things, so if we see that their invoice hasn't been paid in a few days, we're like, they're probably in the middle of the renovation. It's okay, they'll get to it. Those are the kind of things that not being that cold professional gets you. And what's happening with us. If we've had a hard day, we'll come online and we'll say, hey, sorry, everybody. Yesterday was a mess. we're running behind. And that then, right? But Amazon isn't going to get on there and say, hey, yesterday was a mess. We didn't get your order out. Sorry. You're just not going to have that kind of feedback. And so we always want you to know what's going on as much as we can. Cindy says it's called marketing and knowing what your customers want and being respectful. It's also called manners. Yeah, like That's just, it's about, you know, and I think that's what professionalism is. I don't think it's that cold, sterile, where we don't get to know you and you don't get to know us. But that's what some people believe professionalism is, and it makes us crazy. But it's also, it only makes us crazy because it's been used against us. We've been told so many times that we're not professional. And I think we are, you know. Sometimes everyone, you know, everyone loses it once in a while, right? Everyone forgets things, or everyone runs behind on things. But we try to be as upfront and you know, as honest as we can about any of that. And I think that's truly professional, not this sterile where we're just gonna, you know, wait until you know, send us an email and then we'll let you know maybe. I think that's strange. I think that's strange. Cindy is moving to PA in the next year or so. Nice. That's awesome. Let us know. You'll have to stop in and say hi. Hello, Sharon. Thank you for joining us. Susan can't comment on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you can't comment, usually you have to have a YouTube account, I believe. So if you don't have an actual YouTube account, if you're just watching as a visitor, I don't think it'll let you comment, because I had that issue. When I was not signed into YouTube, I couldn't view the comments or leave comments. But once you are signed in, and you make sure you're signed into your Google account or whatever account you have for YouTube, then supposedly, like if you're on a phone, up where it says like or dislike or subscribe and share, there's a comment thing, is what I have been told. I think Diane told us that the other day. Diane says, I think that as long as you're willing to stand behind your public opinions, there should be no problem with posting them. Opinions can have consequences, but if you can live with that, have at it. Right. And that's, you know, we try not to get too wild. It's not like, you know, especially on the business page, we keep the business page business. But if you want to get to know Andrew and me, you have to realize that if you are friending us on our personal accounts, you are going to see just that, our personal thoughts. And that's another way that that professionalism word gets wielded against us, is that people will follow our business and then they ask to friend us. And generally, if we've known you long enough, or if we've, me especially, I usually only friend people that I've met in person or have known for a very long time online. And that keeps me a little bit more insulated against this, I think. But for a while, Andrew was very open to just friending if you send him a friend request, and we've had to change that a little bit because of this, and it's a shame. But you have to realize that if you are friending the owner of a business, you're going to see that person's personal stuff, right? It's a personal timeline. And sometimes when we post things on our personal timeline, people say that you run a business, you can't do that. And I think that's unfair. I think any business owner should be able to say things and voice their opinions, as Diane said, as long as you're willing to stand behind them, right? And we're not just going to throw up things if we're not, kind of steadfast with that. We're standing with that. And so you have to realize that there is a difference. Our personal page, we get into a lot of different things, and we throw out a lot of our personal thoughts, and we have conversations with people on there. The business page is about the business. And generally, you're not going to see the two mix. But there are some people who still believe that as a business owner, you are not entitled to show your personal opinion to people. And I think that's really sad. And I think that's really a sad way to be. You can have your own opinions and thoughts on this, of course. I'm just letting you know some of the things as a business owner that we tend to get. And it's a strange thing to me that people think business owners shouldn't have a personal place to talk about things. Susan asks, Andrew, your bulb's coming up. I can't wait to see them. Some of them are. Some of them are starting to come up and come through. Let's see here. Marcy is saying hello, making collage art for windows facing the Mississippi to honor all those in and from Ukraine. That's awesome. That's awesome. A good way to spend the day, I think. Hello, Rosie from Buena Park. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Andrew says, well, it's fine for other people to do what you want, but it's not my favorite when people impose what they want on us. And that's exactly what it is. It's people imposing their own views. Marcia says, we have been a lawn care business for 30 years, and that is a gonna hurt comment people like to make. We ignore them. Yeah, you can ignore to a point, right? But people have to realize that when you make comments to business owners, they're people, and it does hurt, right? And it can hurt business. It can hurt you personally. It can hurt your feelings, especially when you put a lot of energy into your business, and people are quick to point out anything that went wrong, oftentimes without even writing the business or calling the business. That's something that happens a lot too. It's just easier to write a post and a review than apparently just to, hey, write an email and say, hey, what's going on? But, you learn a lot as a business owner. And I think I'm one of those people that I firmly believe everyone should try working as a server or a retail employee for at least a small amount of time in their lives so that they can see. I think the world would be a lot calmer if everyone had to do that. Pamela's saying click subscribe. Maybe you can't comment if you haven't subscribed. That's a good thing too. That possibly may be. But yes, as just a reminder, everyone, please, if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell symbol, it will notify you whenever we do go live or have a new video out. Teresa said, I received my labradorite. I think I'm going to use it as a stone for my grids instead of for jewelry. It is so beautiful. Nice. I don't know for my grids. I don't know what that is. Not sure what that is. But you can always, yeah. I love how things can be used. We love seeing stones and beads used in other forms of art too. So we hope that when you do make things that you will post it in the group on Facebook, on our Design Challenge group. Let me throw that up here too. Let me find, there it is. If you make something with beads that you got from us, join our group right here. Join it and post it because we all like to see what you made. Everyone in there is really nice. Nice people in that group. They're not going to make fun of you. They're not going to, laugh at you. They're all going to be supportive. And especially if you have questions or you're new to making things, please feel free to ask in that group. A lot of knowledgeable people in there. Susan says, I agree with Andrew that the term professional is a gatekeeping tool. Yes, absolutely. That's their way of shutting you up, says Andrew, right? Can be. Cindy says, being yourselves is the best way to be. I agree. And I agree that if you are yourself and your customers know who you are, it goes both ways, but the customer can choose if they want to do business with that person or those people, right? I would always rather know that than to be doing business with somebody who is completely opposed to the things, like maybe they're opposed to LGBTQ rights. I don't want to do business with those people because I am LGBTQ, right? So it's one of those things that I think being open and being honest will attract that energy to you. And so whenever you are tuned into being your most honest and your most open, I think that other people will find that and will gravitate to you if they are pulled in that direction. And if they are not, they will push them away. And that's okay too, right? Because I also don't need a lot of comments about that. And I don't need a lot of, back and forth and bickering about it, because I have my views and you have your views. But, if we were cold and we were faceless and nobody knew what we thought, then yeah, maybe we might have a larger customer base. But would it be a truer customer base? I don't think so. I thank you all who watch these, you all who support us for years and years and years, you all who are joining us now. I think the reason, and I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the reason that you do stick with us and the reason that you are pulled toward us is because we are honest with you about who we are and what we do. And I think that that's the kind of business I would rather do business with too. Da, da, da. Let's see here. What's everyone saying? Amanda says, I like to make jewelry or work on my prints while watching your lives. Nice. Nice. We like that people are making art. And, you know, I like these days because, especially because you don't necessarily have to watch the video, right? You can just listen and it can be in the background and you can hang out with us and we can have a good time. And it's just easy, right? This is easy. I don't have to find things to show you. Sometimes I'm like, well, I showed them this and I showed them that. What am I going to show them today? And sometimes when we have new things coming in all the time, it's easy. But during slow times of the year, it's a little bit more difficult. So, we have a store full of stuff. So generally we don't run out of things, but it's just trying to decide what to show you. So these Let's Chat days make it easy, I think. And of course, I'm generally good for chit-chatting, for, just going off on things, random things sometimes, right? Let's see here. Andrew said, I also think there's a difference between constructive criticism and punishing people. I've noticed some people like to, quote unquote, school others and make them pay. And that's something that I think, yeah, we've seen, especially especially when politics get fiery, or, certain personal quests you find people on. And that can happen a lot. And people like to make other people pay. They like to make things difficult. But if you have constructive criticism, that's great. Send us an email, please. But when that constructive criticism goes public and you make that a public review or a public post, that turns from constructive criticism into an attack, right? There have been a lot of people who have also pretended they're giving constructive criticism, but really they're doing it publicly to get people on their side, to be against you, right? And those are things we've seen before, both in our business and for other businesses and friends of ours who have businesses. Constructive criticism is best delivered directly to the person that you're trying to help, right? And the key word there is, well, keywords are direct and help. So if you have constructive criticism about a business, I always say, hey, if you really do like that business, send them an email or give them a call, talk to them personally. Don't post that on Facebook on a public comment, or, on something like this on a live, because that kind of thing turns into an attack more often than not, or feels like it at least. So if you're trying truly in your heart to help, deliver things like that through means that aren't going to be public facing. There have been a lot of people who, under the guise of constructive criticism, but really that's not what it is at all. It's really an attack, and somebody who, as Andrew said, are trying to school you or make you pay for something. And so that's what I can say about that, as far as if you are trying to, constructively help a business, get in touch with the business owners or the people in charge directly, and don't make it for an outward facing comment for everybody. Pamela got her Labradorite cabochons last week. I'm glad. I hope you love them. Aren't they beautiful? They were beautiful. They really were beautiful. Oh, Andrew saying that was stone grids. It's a way to cleanse, focus, and ground. See, I don't do that, so I didn't know, but that's good to know. Teresa says a crystal grid. It helps with meditation. Nice. Nice. I hope the stones work for it. Terry says, I work customer support for a small web-based company. I hear so much of what you are saying. Yeah, customer support is an awful job sometimes. And especially when you're the owner of something and you're the customer support, you take things very personally. It may have been better if we could have afforded a customer support person through our entire 10 years or 11 years here of having a store, because when you are the person who's making things happen and trying to keep the business surviving, and you're trying to customer support or be customer support, it's not easy, and you take things very personally, sometimes too personally. And it's sometimes hard. And it's even harder when you make a lot of that stuff public instead of coming to us as the owners. And that's what I'm talking about in a lot of this. Who is Pamela? Please all call me Pam. Okay, Pam. Let's see here. Let's see here. Marcy says, without question, there are those that subscribe to the one-upmanship club, and that used to bother my husband. But when he started telling them that they were entitled to their opinion and he was sorry to see them go, usually a backpedal would ensue, and he could find out what prompted the comment. Yeah, that's happened a lot. There have been comments that people make, and if they are, some people just, and I say this all the time. I say this all the time on our videos. We talk a lot. We talk a lot at the beginning of our videos. We talk a lot often at the end of our videos. And in the middle is kind of that bit where we show you stuff, right? And that's not for everyone. And there are many times people have commented on things, and, sometimes the best thing you can say is, I'm sorry, I guess we're just not for you. And that's not a personal attack. That's not, we're not taking offense necessarily. It's just the truth. Sometimes people and businesses, just like people and other people, sometimes they just don't interact well, or sometimes they're just not what each other need. And there have been a number of times that we have had to say, I'm sorry, I guess we're just not the business for you. There are lots of other people that may work out better for you. And sometimes it's true. And then sometimes that you find that whether it's a backpedal or whether it's just a misunderstanding, the person is like, whoa, wait, maybe this is just what I mean. And sometimes those interactions, they become your most supportive people, right? Because once you can come to that understanding, and once they see that, it's almost like, the saying about if you love something, let it go, and if it comes back, it's yours. Well, sometimes you have to let people go and let them know that, we're letting you go. It's okay. And sometimes those people come back, and like I said, they are your most, supportive people. And that's happened to us before too. Andrew says, I'm not so concerned with the quantity. I think quality is better, and I think our people are the best people. I agree. Although we would like our best people to follow us on YouTube. We want that quantity on YouTube to go up, so that we can do some things over there and more. But yeah, joking aside, our people are the best people. We have had people who have supported us even before we had a store, who are still supporting us. So thank you all to you out there who have been with us for years, and thank you all to you who have stood up for us throughout the years and who are joining us now and understand what we're doing and what we're trying to do. Diane says, you guys are all about building a quality community, not just selling to whoever will buy. And that's really what we want. We want, we always say that we want the beads to find their best homes. And that's with people who understand what we're showing, what we're selling. We try to sell quality things and things that we would use. And yes, anybody could buy them, but we do hope, we have people who have an online store. We don't know everybody. They don't watch these videos all the time. Some of them will probably never watch our videos. So we don't get to know them as much as we could. But we do hope that it's connecting. What we're doing in some way is connecting with them. Andrew says, I will say that certain numbers unlock various things on different platforms. And that's the truth, right? That's the truth. That's why, we have a lot of good supporters on Facebook, and we would like, those who are on Facebook to move over to YouTube if we can. Not to move over completely, but just to also watch us there and also make sure that they know we're there and they're subscribed to us there. Diane's cutting dog bandanas today. Nice. Gearing up for something. Do you have a show coming up or something? Let us know. Susan says, I generally have a cat sitting on my lap during the lives. He was watching for a bit. Nice. Andrew may have some cats on his lap. I don't know. They often watch when they hear me a lot of times with him. Renee is sewing special needs collars for dogs. One now says deaf and blind so that people are aware, especially if the dog gets lost. That's really sweet. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Susan would like to know, what are y'all reading, watching, and listening to? That's a good question. I'm usually in the middle of a lot of books. Sometimes I forget I'm in the middle of a book. I was cleaning my office yesterday, and I came across some books that I have bookmarks in that I forgot that I even started. That's the way my brain works, not very well these days. And I started watching, just for something to, clear my mind a little bit. I started watching Abbott Elementary on Hulu. I don't know if any of you have watched Abbott Elementary or if you're watching it at all, but it's a comedy, and I think it's pretty funny. It's a good kind of lighthearted kind of thing. So that's what I've been watching. Reading, mostly I started reading a book called Mindset, which is supposed to help you, get into a better mindset, I guess. I haven't gotten much past the foreword and the introduction, so it seems interesting. But I do like reading about the brain, the human brain, and how things happen in neuroplasticity, and how you can recover from things. So this is supposed to be a way, I think, to kind of engage your brain in a way that you can help, develop the mindset that you need. So I'm interested in that. That's what I'm doing. So what are all of you out there doing? Andrew says, I think you are also more conscious of only showing new stuff, but I figure that we only reach so many people at a given time, so just show whatever. If folks saw, nice. If they didn't, that's nice too. Yeah, I do like to, I'd like to try to make sure that these aren't boring for people who may have watched before. But there's a lot of stuff that we show you on here that goes unsold, that we do not sell. So, sometimes you will, if you watch these often enough, you will inevitably see things again. Some things sell, some things don't always sell. But yeah, I do try. Andrew's right. I do try to, when I show you things on the lives, I try to always pick things that I haven't done before, but that's not always possible, right? And it's especially getting possible since we've been doing these now for about 2 years. So after 2 years worth of picking things from the store, we're getting down to the point where it's harder to find things that I've never shown before. Andrew's listening to some weird elf romances on his audiobooks. So there's what he's been reading / listening to. Teresa says, I love that y'all and the other companies in the TGBE are all honest. It makes it easier to do business with you. Thank you. Yes, I think the TGBE is a really great group of businesses, and I'm really proud of them all. And it really is an amazing group to be a part of. Let's see here. Da, da, da. I see some of you are talking to each other. Mine doesn't show when you're talking and replying to each other necessarily. So I'm trying to skim through this. So sorry, it takes me a little while to read through them and see who's all talking to what. Andrew said the ones he's listening to are by Bethany Adams. They're free on Audible. I started them as an in-between read, and now I want to finish them. In between the paid books, right? Suzanne says, I think you are right about promoting YouTube. And I did get your email, Suzanne. I haven't had a chance to write back. But thank you for letting us know that about some other groups. She was just talking generally about some other groups that she knows of on Facebook that have been shut down. And sometimes you don't know why, right? And so we're trying to promote YouTube as a way just to get people over there in case something happens. You never know. Facebook, and I think it's because of politics, Facebook has had to get very, very, very strict on the things that that the AI catches and their bots catch people saying. And there's no way to fight it, really. You can hit a button and you can say that I disagree with this decision, but it doesn't really go anywhere. At least for most, I've actually never heard of a single person who hit that button, disagreed with the finding, and actually got it reversed. And I've known a lot of people who have been in Facebook jail, as they call it. So yes, we are trying to get people over to YouTube so that if something does happen, we don't miss out on seeing you for 30 days or 60 days or however long it is. This is a random question. What is the picture that's hanging behind you? I've been curious about it. This one. This is a painting done by Andrew's sister, Sheila Thornton. And this is a painting done by her. So that's what that is. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to get it. This camera is always weird because it's a little bit backward. She does a lot of, or she did do a lot of plein air painting. And she actually came to Ligonier and did some plein air painting, and we sold some of her paintings. So that's what that is. Thanks for asking. Oh, Andrew says we're watching The Gilded Age. The Gilded Age, and that's so good. It really is. It's really, really good. I like it. Oh, sorry. So yeah, The Gilded Age. I've been watching Abbott Elementary. I pulled Andrew into watching that a little bit yesterday, and I think he liked it a little bit. He may not admit it. Diane says, not having a show yet, just filling things in for Easter bandanas, getting ready for Angel's Store. Nice. Gotta keep the stock up, right? Amanda's watching Shetland. I don't know what that is. I haven't heard of that one. Let's see here. Suzanne's reading a book on Fredericksburg. So interesting. Marcy says, I do that too, William, and the same with magazines. I love print material. I do like print material too. I like actual books, even if I forget that I'm reading them. But yeah, I do like actual books. I'm one of those people, I go to the bookstore and I buy a bunch of books at once. And then sometimes I forget, and I've almost bought multiples of the same book because I haven't gotten to read it yet. And I forgot that I actually did finally buy it. But I do that also, like I do have a Kindle, and anything I buy on the Kindle is pretty much immediately forgotten because it goes into that library and I don't actually, physically see it. So, yeah, I couldn't even tell you what books are on my Kindle because I buy them and I forget about it, or they're free, you get a free download. So I like physical books just because I can actually see that I have them a little bit easier. As much as I am a technology person, I like a physical book generally. Let's see. Susan just finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by Victoria Schwab. Now I'm reading Gallant by V.E. Schwab. Same author, different name for different genres. Nice. We're watching Thunderbirds box set that I gave Hubs for Valentine's, listening to Sunroof. Electronic music. Nice. Very eclectic things going on over there. I like that. Marianne's watching a bunch of cozy mysteries. One is a series where the Siamese cats are the star. That's fun. I don't know what that one is, but that's fun. I like Midsummer Murders. We watched that. Even Cynthia and them watched that. And what's another one? Rosemary and Thyme. I liked Rosemary and Thyme a lot. I don't know if we ever watched all of those or if they ended. I don't know. But yeah, I like those kind of the English, the UK mysteries. Renee is reading Eternal by Lisa Scott online and researching Yellowstone at bed waiting for season 5. I've heard that's good. We've not watched Yellowstone, so I don't know. I don't know what it's all about, but a lot of people seem to like it. June, hello. Sorry so late. We're just having a chat day, June, so tune in. Don't be afraid anytime. And if you want to rewatch this, you can. It's available on the rewatch. I know sometimes the Let's Chats maybe aren't as interesting to watch on rewatch. Maybe. I don't know. What do you all think about that? But they're all available if you want to see them on the live tabs on Facebook and YouTube. Andrew finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I started it through the library and had to get it to finish because the wait was so long. Nice. Diane says, looking at beads is never boring. Maybe a monthly recap of what didn't sell. Oh, maybe. That's a good idea. I have to think about that. What would go into keeping all those in my head would be the question. Cynthia's watching Perfect Strangers with Max. I know he likes that. I love those old shows too. I watch Perfect Strangers a lot. The Witcher with Greg and rewatching Midsummer Murders with Azalea. Nice eclectic watching. And we watch all those too. Amanda's watching archaeology videos on YouTube. I love YouTube for all the things you can get into, right? Sometimes I go down the rabbit's hole on YouTube and end up in, things that I never thought I'd watch, and they're really interesting. So I love YouTube for that. Marianne loves Midsummer Murders too. How can you not, right? Sandra's reading She Means Business by Carrie Green. I haven't heard of that one either. That sounds like a good title. Cynthia's listening to Entangled Life about mushrooms. I feel like, is that an audiobook? I feel like I have that book. I either have that book. Is that a book? Or is it a video, a documentary? I either got it or I think I was looking at it through the library too as a book, an audiobook. Mushrooms are amazing things. Mushrooms are amazing things. And it's amazing how we're all tied together. We've watched some documentaries on mushrooms and things, and it's just amazing. I keep saying amazing, but they're really cool. Mushrooms are cool. Diane's not reading anything, but always listening to last podcasts on the left because I'm trying to catch up since I started. They're already doing it for a year. Nice. I like podcasts. I listen to them in the car sometimes on my way to the other job. Oh, I keep yawning. My coffee's always decaf. I don't drink caffeine, so some days are harder than others. Cindy loves Midsummer Murders too. Amanda says, if you're looking for a cozy novel series, check out Aunt Dimity. Aunt Dimity. Nice. Diane says, I mostly just put the TV on in the background in HGTV shows because there are things I want to watch. But then when I have time, I can't remember what I wanted to watch. That's the truth. That's like books. Like that Entangled Mush. I feel like I know that book. Andrew's excited for the new stones we got. Also for the enameling that we're doing. Yeah, me too. I like enameling. I like that. Sandra says that's why your mailing list is important. If Facebook goes down, you lose your peeps, right? That's why we try and get you on YouTube, and we always try and get you on our mailing list. So hopefully you're on our mailing list too. If not, go to allegorygallery.com, go to the bottom of any page on our site, and pop your email in there. Pop your email in there. Andrew's trying to coerce me to come over and enameling. I sometimes do, right? You just got to do it before like 10 o'clock at night. Andrew and I have different schedules because if I'm at the store, I'm at the store during the day. And then I come home and sometimes we make dinner, and then Andrew gets his day started at like 9 or 10 at night. And that's when I'm trying to, on my William Tries Things, on my personal page, William Tries Things and our group, The Triers, we are now in March, which is setting an evening routine. And my evening routine starts at 10:30. I wind down. That's my wind down time. I'm trying to be in bed by midnight. It is not working out well some days. Some days it is. But the idea is to get an evening routine down so that you do the same kind of things throughout the evening. So you start to wind down and get yourself ready for bed. So sometimes that's during the time Andrew tries to coerce me to go over, and it's already in my wind down time. But I do sometimes go over. Yeah, as Andrew said, Sheila is not Sheila Thornton anymore. She's Sheila Keegan, and you can find her on Instagram as well. I don't know if he put any links. I'm behind in the comments, I can tell. So maybe he put links to her Instagram page, but you can also see her, Sheila Keegan, on Instagram. Goodness, is Andrew's entire family artistic, crazy talented? Yes, they are. Andrew's artistic, Cynthia is, Sheila is, and their brother Dwayne is as well. The whole family, crazy, talented, and artistic. Let's see. I'm just trying to see what everybody's talking about. Some people know Shetland. I haven't seen that yet. Some people are talking about, I love real books too, right? No battery drainage issues on real books, right? Sharon says, I love my library. Always have a huge list to read, right? Yeah, and especially when you can now download audiobooks and like Kindle-like books, digital books from your library, which is really nice. I like that. Andrew said, we didn't finish Midsummer Murders. I didn't think so. We did finish Rosemary in Time, though. I wish they would have had more of those. I like those a lot. Sharon watches a lot of Acorn TV, all British. Yeah, we used to have Acorn TV. I don't know if we still have Acorn TV on there or not. Andrew said, the lady who played Rosemary in Rosemary in Time was in Pennyworth. He remembers those people. I don't remember. You could list an actor's name and I probably have no idea who they are. I'm one of those people, I don't keep track of all that. When I used to work at Apple, I was selling a computer to some woman and I had no idea who she was. And one of my managers came up to me and says, would you like to use the private room? And I'm like, this is the first time this had ever happened to me. And I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm fine. I thought maybe just because the floor was crowded. And so in order to get a computer, you had to go to one of the computers on the store floor, generally, and type in the person's name and make an order, and it would be processed in the back of house and brought forward to them. And I went through and talked with this person about what kind of computer they wanted and what they needed for themselves. And because that was the thing, you're trying to find the perfect computer for the person, not the most expensive, and not that that's just the way we were. And so I was talking with her for quite a while. And again, no idea, just, this is New York City. You see a lot of people. And I ended up, after that, I'm like, so you have to ask the person their name to put the computer order in. And she was like, Kirsten. And that's when it hit me. That's when it all came together, that Kirsten Dunst was standing in front of me, and the manager was trying to ask me if we wanted to use the private room, because she's a famous person and she doesn't need to just be, she might want to not be on the store floor where everyone can see her making a purchase. So that was that. But after that, because I don't know people, and because it didn't really, I'm not really starstruck with people in a lot of ways, because I don't know them. And so after that, there were a number of times that they asked me to work with somebody. And so I got to meet a lot of people. And I also helped run a bookstore, and a lot of, famous actors and actresses write children's books. And it was a children's bookstore or a YA bookstore too. And so I met a lot of people. I met Mikhail Baryshnikov. I met Julianne Moore. I met, trying to think of people. I can think of, see, I'm bad with names. I can think of all these people. I can see their faces. But yeah, it was really, it was interesting. I don't know people. So Andrew can keep track of everybody. He's like, who is this? Where were they in? And he can start naming things. I'm not like that. I'm not like that at all. Let's see here. What's everyone saying? Talking about mushrooms. Yeah, the new Star Treks talk a lot about mushrooms. And science is based off real science on the mycelial networks, right? Lorraine, can't wait to see more of the enamel work we do, Andrew. That's nice. We got to do some more stuff. Andrew I have a different schedule from myself, he says. I don't know quite what that means. So it says you two are so busy. We do. We keep busy, right? Andrew says, I'm excited to get a regular schedule. Yeah, once he can get over to the studio, and he has a lot of things going on in Pittsburgh and with Touchstone and Contemporary Craft. So he's working on getting himself a regular schedule too. So we can make sure everything gets fit in there, right? This upcoming Sunday is daylight savings. I forgot that, but it is, isn't it? It's coming up. Is it this Sunday? Is it already? Wow. I cannot wait for daylight savings time. It's my favorite time. I do not like regular standard time. I wish we just stayed in daylight savings time and we had evenings with lots of light all year long. That would be lovely. Yes, Andrew is the artist in residence for the medals program at Contemporary Craft in Pittsburgh. So he got into that, and he's also on the board of Touchstone here in Pennsylvania as well. Touchstone is a Touchstone Center for the Arts or Crafts. I think one of those things. Just scrolling through. Andrew's sad that he canceled the New York Library card. They have an amazing collection. Our library is good, but they have an extensive collection in New York. Of course they do. I don't think I ever had a New York Library card. Susan says, I don't do the starstruck thing either, right? Let's see here. Andrew says, I like to pretend that I don't get starstruck, but I do. Diane says, I don't know people either. When Burt Reynolds died, I said to Chris, I wonder if they will stop making blue blood. So it turns out that's Tom Selleck, right? Yeah. Yeah. Cindy says, daylight savings is the best ever. I agree. I agree. Susan says, not me. After a certain point, bring on the dark. Yeah, that certain point for me could be 10 p.m. Maybe 10, maybe 11 p.m. Then you can bring on the dark. Otherwise, because most of our day, our day is working in the beginning of the day. And when we go home and we want to do gardening or do something outside, regular daylight time, like regular standard time, you don't have much time to do all that. But daylight savings time, there's like at least an extra hour to 3 hours usually at the end of the day that we can do stuff in, which is good. Andrew's pitching a series of pop-ups tomorrow, so we'll see where that goes. We might do some pop-up shops here and there. We'll see. Yeah, so we've been chatting for an hour and 10 minutes here, so I think we'll call it the end. I'm down to the end of the comments, so thank you all for hanging out with us and chatting. Please hit that like or love button, hit that thumbs up button if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications, turn them on so you know when we go live and when we post videos. As many ways as we can reach you is good, So again, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for your support and, having our backs, because you all do. And we really do appreciate that. So thank you so very much. And Andrew, will see you here tomorrow with some kind of demo or tutorial or video of some sort. I'll be back on Wednesday, provided all goes well. And we'll see you then. All right. So if you did miss this, you can rewatch if you'd like to. Like I said, it's a let's chat, so sometimes it's not as exciting, maybe, I don't know, as watching some of the videos that we actually show you goods. But I think it's fun. I think it's fun to have a chat once in a while. Andrew says, who knows what we'll get into tomorrow for his video? You never know, right? So be sure to tune in live at 5 p.m. All right, everybody. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful Monday evening, or whatever day and time it is in your neck of the woods. And we'll see you here again tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great one.